Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with an exciting video, which I saw someone share this list on Instagram, and I was like, there are so many books already on my TBR, I just need to do a video of this. And that is, I'm going to be reading some books from the list on Buzzfeed of, if you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, read these 19 books. Now, Sil is the one who wrote this article. I love Sil. I mostly follow her on Twitter, though I'm not on Twitter too often anymore, but I love Sil's recommendations. And looking at number 1, I was like literally at the top of my TBR, another one at the top of my TBR, and another one I have on audio. So I was like, I will read these 3 books. I was gonna try to do 4, but I couldn't find an audio of one that I really wanted to read. The ones I really wanted to read weren't on audio, and that's the only one I could add to this vlog. So I'm reading 3 books, and I'm very excited because I really enjoy Gilmore Girls. Growing up, Gilmore Girls was my sister's favorite show. She had all the DVDs. I watched it with her. I had all the DVDs of Smallville, so that was my show, and Gilmore Girls was her show, but I still appreciate it. If you can't tell, I'm a fast talker, so I love the pace that the show is at. I love small town romances. I love all the relationships in the show. So I have 3 books I'm taking from that list to read and seeing if they give me some Gilmore Girls vibes. So the first one, that was a reason why I wanted this video, is In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. I read Love Light Farms and I was obsessed. And this one is the second chance romance where we got to see them in the first book after they had already like had a fling, and they're very awkward and they're like, oh my gosh, it's you. So she's a social media influencer. She was the one visiting Love Light Farms to promote on her platform, and he works at the farm. And so this says it's a steamy second chance romance about finding your happiness. And so I think she finds happiness in the small town, so she returns because she's a little overworked and tired, and I'm very excited. I love a good small town romance. I love B.K. Borison, so I definitely want to read more of her backlist. And then the next one, I had to scroll down a little bit because I've read Juniper Hill by Debbie Perry, which is on this list, and I was like, yes, absolutely. I saw that a Tara DeWitt book was on there, and that is The Co-op by Tara DeWitt. I'm actually interviewing this author on my channel, I think either the 1st or the 2nd of December, and so I have to read more of her backlist. I read Funny Feelings and I was obsessed, and this one, I feel like Funny Feelings also, it gives me kind of Gilmore Girls vibes. So this one though, they had a thing when they were in high school. I think they were like 18, and they hooked up, and then she was mortified by what happened, and he was really kind of mean to her. And their grandmothers, though, I believe, were in a relationship together, and they both passed away and left their house to them, and so they're trying to renovate it. And what I did not know, so I actually started this today, I'm about 50 pages in, she was left a trust fund by her grandmother of like $100,000, and she cannot access it until she's married. And so right now her plan is to marry her friend, but I think she ends up having to marry him to get the money so they can renovate it and sell the place together. And they are not on a good terms with one another. She specifically really hates him because he pretty much said he didn't have any feelings for her back when they were caught sneaking around together by their parents. And he, though, is kind of mad at her for never coming around for their grandmothers. He was the one that was always there for them. So far, it's cute so far, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm very excited to read more. And then I was really excited to see some holiday romances on this list. This one I have out from the library, and I have the audio out, and I was like, perfect. It is The Holiday Trap by Roan Parrish. I've been meaning to read Roan Parrish ever since I got to meet that author at a Polycon this summer, and they were great to me. And this one, I believe 2 people swap houses for the holidays and have their separate romances. So again, small town goodness, but in the holiday time, and I'm very excited to read this one. It looks long, but it's just over 400 pages, so it's not too long. And this one I have on audio, so I'll be listening to that as soon as I'm done with my current one. But I'm very excited for some Gilmore Girls goodness going on. So hopefully I enjoy these 3, and I will get back to you on how I think of them as I'm reading them. It is Friday that I'm filming this, so I will have plenty of time this weekend to get to my books, which I'm excited for. My only plans are to go to my parents' house to watch The Housetaking with my dad and hang out with him and his dogs. My mom is currently at a quilt retreat, so she's not home, and my sister's working, so it's just me and my dad, and I'm very excited to get some reading done. And then Sunday I'm gonna go to a craft show, so it's a craft market for the holidays. Hopefully I can make it there. We will see. I will update you guys some more and have reading sprints tonight with my members, which I'm very excited for, which I think I'm gonna read though Nikki Castle's book. I have to finish that arc, and then I'll get on to these. Hi guys, it is Saturday night. I'm obsessed with this. It's from Kohl's. My friend Desiree, she saw it when she was at Kohl's and immediately texted it to me because I have Vans, this exact pattern and color. And it was like 40% off on Kohl's, and I had another 40% off, and I was like, I'm absolutely buying this. So I bought it in 2 different colors. It's amazing, though it does have a hole that I need to sew. I didn't realize that until I wore it today. But today was a lot busier than I expected. I thought I'd have a lot of time this morning to like hang out with my dogs, get stuff done around the house, start laundry, but my dad called me at like 9 and said something came up where he had to go and do something, and it would take him a few hours, and so he asked if I could come over early to watch the dogs, and I was like, absolutely, that's fine, because my mom's out of town. I ended up going over to their house at like 10:30 and edited a video, hung out with the dogs, read a little bit until the Ohio State game. The Ohio State against Maryland game. I don't want to discuss that ending. Crazy. Oh my gosh. So I just got in bed with my puppies to watch some Love is Blind, because I am on episode 4 and I love Love is Blind so much, but I haven't been able to watch it. I can only watch it when my sister is working, and I typically have a member reading sprints those nights, so she does not like this show. I love it, but I'm watching it right now, and I'm going to be reading more of the co-op. I actually read 3 Count by Nikki Castle today, and I finished that one finally, so I can get back into this one. I'm about 70 pages in. It is Marriage of Convenience, which I love that trope in a contemporary romance, so far it's good. And she does like resent him a lot because he's just like, everybody likes him. He was there for their grandmothers when she wasn't, and now she has to marry him, and she was just really mad about how things ended between them. So I think it's definitely interesting when a couple was together as like teenagers or younger, and now they're adults, because they're definitely different people and at different points in their lives. So it's just interesting seeing them as adults with responsibilities, and she still has resentment towards him over what he did when he was a teenager. So it's good so far. They are waiting for the money to come in for them to renovate this building together, and I'm excited to read more. It definitely gives those like cozy vibes. I feel like Gilmore Girls is super cozy, and I've been in such a mood for cozy romances, so Tara DeWitt's Funny Feelings was definitely something of that vibe as well. So of course I figured I'd get the same with this. I'm excited to read this one, and then Rootbound hopefully within the next few weeks, but so far I'm enjoying this, and I'm just excited to read all the books in this vlog. I was just thinking about that because I'm almost done with my current audiobook. I'm super excited to get into The Rowan Parish, and then I'm like, oh, and then I get to read B.K. Borison next. So typically with reading vlogs, I'm like, okay, I'm excited, but like I'm being forced to read these books. These all were already on my TBR, so I'm just like, yes, please. And they're all that cozy fall. Well, it was like 20 degrees today, so I did have to run on my treadmill today because it felt so cold, and it's gonna be 20 degrees tomorrow morning too without wind chill, so I'm not gonna run in that cold of temperature. I love running in like 35-degree weather. Any colder than that, my lungs are like, it's kind of cold. So anyways, I just feel like I want to cozy up on the couch and read. So my puppies are just staring at me right now. They're so cute. They want to go to bed. So they've had a long day. They had a fun day at my parents' house, though. They love going over there. I showed you a couple of my puppies. There are 3 dogs and my 2 dogs, so they all love each other. But that's really all I have to say so far. Not a lot's really been happening. Just 70 pages in. Font is super big though, so the book's going by really fast. Yeah, and I'm gonna read some more. I hear Darcy coming. Hi, sweetie. Okay, Darcy's probably gonna want to cuddle again. Hi, everybody. It is Sunday evening. Last time I talked to you was yesterday, but I've been reading more today. I did actually read a Christmas romance on the treadmill this morning because, first of all, it's still like 20 degrees outside in the morning. So I decided to run inside, and it's 'Tis the Season for Revenge. It is so good so far. It is like kind of like Legally Blonde, and she gets dumped by her lawyer boyfriend who thinks she's not serious enough, and so she's gonna hook up with his boss, who's like 15, 12 years older than them, and show up at the Christmas party on his arm. So I'm excited to read that. So I feel like that kind of, okay, I'm telling you that because this one is good so far, but it's not like holding my attention, and all I can think about is that Christmas romance, and I'm like, oh, I really want to be reading that book right now because this is very character driven, which I do feel like Gilmore Girls is a pretty character driven show, and this book is basically just about the characters, and like I don't like where's this plot going? They're just fixing up the house together, they've already gotten married. I feel like the pacing is just very different in this book, especially from Funny Feelings. I read Funny Feelings by this author. Absolutely obsessed with that book. This one, I'm having a really hard time getting into it and just like caring about the plot. I'm 150 pages in, and I'm just like, not a lot's going on right now. They're just like different snippets of things happening, but it doesn't feel like a continuous plot, like with an end goal. So I don't know what else is gonna happen in here. Hopefully I end up liking it more. We just get things, and it just feels like, I don't know, like she's remembering different things. It doesn't even feel like it's like currently happening, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just want a little more continuity in the plot line and just a little bit more happening. I'm a very plot and character driven person. Like I need both to enjoy a book. Like except for like Magnolia Parks, I feel like if it's just character driven, I get a little bored. So I did end up starting the Rowan Parish, though the audiobook said Rowan to pronounce the author's name, and now I don't know how to pronounce the author's name, so I have to look that up. But the book is so good so far. So it's like I also am really in the mood for Christmas stuff right now. So it's going towards the holiday season, and it's following two different characters, one from Maine, I want to say, and one from New Orleans, and they both have just like a horrible day, and they have a mutual friend, and the mutual friend is like, I know you guys want to escape, but the girl has all these plants she can't leave behind unattended. The guy has this giant dog that he's taking care of. He's like, we can't just like drop everything and go somewhere to like escape our lives. So the friend is like, hey, why don't you guys swap houses? You can take care of her plants, you can take care of his dog, and you'll be good. And so I think it's super cute. It definitely reminds me of the holiday where they have just not great things happening in their lives that they need to just get away from. And it's for her, it's her family who's very overbearing. And for him, he figured out his boyfriend had a secret family. And so he is devastated. Darcy is literally begging me to cuddle right now. You okay? I want to see you, Bobby. She just came up. Okay, hold on. I can let you. This is what she wants. Look at her. Hi. I know. You're so good. Do we see that tail? She's silly. Okay, anyways, I'm really enjoying it so far. That is my audiobook though. I listened to it when I went to my craft show that was today, and it was okay. I didn't end up buying anything. Stuff's really expensive at craft shows, and I'm a very crafty person, so when I see someone's like knitted hat for like $40, I'm like, I can make that myself. And I saw a really cute mug I liked, but it was $45. So I didn't buy anything there, and honestly nothing was really like my style. So I'm gonna stick to like my small bookish shops for Christmas gifts instead. And I'm glad I went and got to look around. It was also very packed, and not everybody had like prices set out, so I felt very awkward like asking what the price was and then feeling bad like that I didn't buy anything if I'm like, oh, how much is this? And they're like $45. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a lot for a mug. So I didn't get anything, and I am putting together my Christmas list right now for my family and figuring out what I want to buy, checking out some Black Friday deals. So I'm gonna be doing that. My sister's getting up soon, so we'll see what she wants to do. I was supposed to have a live show tonight for Ravished by Romance, but Lacey has an author event and she got the time wrong for that, so we're pushing back that live show. So my whole night's open now. So I'm hopefully gonna finish this today and maybe do some of my puzzle. I do have a Christmas puzzle, and listen to more of my audiobook since my sister is home. I cannot do my puzzle if there's only one of us home because this dog gets mad. She refuses to lay by herself. She has to lay in a lap. So she will stare me down if I am doing my puzzle and not paying attention to her. So literally spent the entire day yesterday at my parents' house with her in my lap, and she was living her best life, but was not enough for her. Just like Look at that. She just is so happy. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna continue reading. I am wearing my, I have to take a picture. It's Novel Grounds. It's Nikki Castle. Of course I'm wearing this. So yes. Okay. I will update you guys once I've read hopefully the rest of this, but we'll see. Hi guys. It is Sunday night and I finished. I watched Santa Claus 2 with my sister, and then we watched the first episode of the new Santa Claus show, which is okay so far. We'll see how it goes, but definitely in the Christmas mood watching all the Christmas movies. I finished the co-op today. I sped through this. Like I said, the font is like pretty big for this book, so it's only 345 pages, but I don't think it's really that, like, especially if you read it on Kindle or something. And I'm giving this 3.5 stars. I was still not super into the romance for some reason. I feel like I didn't feel really the connection like established between them, and didn't really understand their past as much, or like feel the past connection as much as I wanted to. So I also think the plot, there was not a lot of plot. The plot was literally them just fixing up the house, and it would go like months, and we're like, oh, now it's a different month, and I'm just like, I need a little bit more plot and like I feel like something's actually happening instead of just like time passing. So I wanted a little bit more from this, and I did feel like it kind of turned insta love, especially because they were like dancing around each other, and then like they boom fell like super head over heels in love. So I don't know, again, it was like super cozy. It was just a very cozy enclosed romance where it was literally pretty much just them for the entire romance. I mean, she had stuff dealing with her mom. I did really love how they had bonded over their grandmothers who were together, and that's why they were like renovating the space. But it was okay. I wanted to understand more about like why she hated him so much. Maybe some flashbacks would have been nice, but other than that, it was just fine. Funny Feelings just like blew me out of the water. That this one was just like a little bit lackluster. I know a lot of people are loving this, but I don't know, the pacing just felt weird. I feel like I was like, what's the point? Like, are we gonna get somewhere? So it just like felt different vibes from Funny Feelings. So 3.5 stars for this one. I'm glad I read it because I only have one more book left to read her backlist, and hopefully I enjoy that one, which is Rootbound. But 3.5 stars, probably rounding down to 3. I did appreciate how it was a marriage convenience. I love contemporary marriage conveniences, and how they had to have a conversation of like, you're not gonna date anybody else because you're mine. I love that. I also am excited though to start In the Weeds. It's so pretty. Hopefully this one is better because I've read one book by both these authors and given it 5 stars. So hopefully I enjoy this one and get some cozy feels. I do feel like this hero is going to be kind of like Luke from Gilmore Girls, because he is very grumpy but very dedicated to his job, and she is like a socialite kind of person, like it, because she's a social media influencer and she's like always talking to people. So we'll see how this one goes. I feel like though these definitely do have just those cozy romance vibes. I do not know how to describe it, but I've been loving those kind of romances lately, and that's what I've been in the mood for. So I'll be reading this tonight. Hey guys, it is Monday and I'm here like in the corner because this is where my tripod can set up. I have so many books around me. Gotta read these soon. These are gonna go over here. I do have a couple packages to share with you that I'm really excited about. So the first one, oh, it's got rips already on it. They're both from Hello Lovely, and I'm very, very excited for them. So the first one's a new shirt that they have. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, they've always been putting stickers in their boxes now, but in any order. Look how cute that is. I love this color. So it's silver and it just says book lover over and over again. Oh, and it's like tie-dye. Love, love, love. I had to buy that as soon as I saw that they added it to their shop. And I have their fall box, which I'm so excited for these books. We have one author I've never heard of before, but then we have Kate Canterbury, which I know some people really, really love her books. But it's the Catherine Cowles box, who's literally one of my favorite authors. All of her books are here. Stunning. Look how gorgeous that book is. I am obsessed. And then inside we've got the mountains. It's so pretty. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Check it out if you haven't yet. I love Catherine so much. Check out Hello Lovely. I am a rep, so my code is Peace15 if you're ever interested in anything from their shop. But I am here to chat about my book I'm reading. I left it downstairs, but I am in the middle of Into the Weeds. Is that what it's called? The B.K. Borison book. Literally obsessed. I'm loving this book so much. It's so small town. They have a phone tree that they call, and everybody's kind of working together to make the main characters be together. So I really love the heroine's character. I typically don't really love reading about social media people, because like I'm so close to that it gets annoying when authors don't really get it right. But I feel like the heroine is very relatable. She is super burnt out. She just wants time to herself. She's overwhelmed with everything and she's just constantly on the go. So she decides to go back to the last place that made her happy, which was Lovelight Farms, which we read about in the previous book. I would definitely recommend reading these in order because I feel like you get the most out of them, though they are standalones. And so she goes, and like according to everyone, there's no space anywhere because there's this kite festival in convention in town. So she has to stay with our hero, who she had a one-night stand with a couple months ago. And so he's trying to avoid her. He's definitely town grump. It is amazing. And he was avoiding her, and she finally confronted him and was like, why am I never seeing you? And now they are living together. She's just visiting, but it's so good. I love this book so much. It's probably gonna be a 5-star read. I'm just like giddy thinking about it. I love it so much. I'm also about 6 hours into the audiobook of the Roan Parish one, and this is good. I really do like how we're looking at two different stories and how it feels like we are like flopping from one to the other. It reads very much like a movie. I am concerned though because I think I like the guys' story better than the girls, because hers, she got together with a girl super quickly, and I'm like, where is this story gonna go now? Like, it's a 12-hour audiobook and they got together like 3 hours in, and I'm like, I like a little bit more tension and angst in my romance, so that happened a little quickly. I really like the guy's storyline right now because he is falling for a plant shop owner, and it's just so cute, and he's helping him like bring more customers into his shop. And so I really love the whole, and then that's much more small town. The other one's in New Orleans, so I like the Maine one better, like in the state of Maine. But it's okay. It's good so far. And I feel like we get so many side characters though, especially in the New Orleans one, that I'm a little confused on who is who. But overall, I think it's super sweet so far. And I like the two storylines that sometimes overlap when they talk, because like he texted her a little bit. But overall, it's super cute so far. So I'm really enjoying these last two ones I'm reading. I know I didn't love the first one, but I cannot stop even thinking about the BK Borison one. So I'm very excited to read more. But I do have to go work out and then have dinner with my sister before she heads to work. So I'm going to go run on the treadmill, but I'm not reading an ebook right now for this vlog, so I'm going to be reading my Christmas romance on my run today, which I'm excited for. So I'm going to go work out and read a nice Christmas revenge romance. Hi guys, I figured I'd update you for my last update in front of the Christmas tree. I know it's a little skinny, but look how perfectly it fits right there. So hi, I am here to update you for the last part of this vlog because I finished both books. So I spent my morning reading In the Weeds, and literally it might be a top favorite of the year. I am so obsessed with this hero. Beckett is amazing. He's everything I love in a hero. Of course, a bus drives by, but he falls head over heels in love with the heroine, and he is so obsessed with her. But it's a pretty slow burn because they had hooked up in the past. She's in this town. The town's adorable. I loved how she found comfort in just a home in this town, and how they're all in everyone's business, and they were all working to get them to be together, and it was super cute. And she is living in his house, so it's kind of a roommate situation, forced proximity, and they slowly give in to their attraction to one another, and it was just perfect. I had so many quotes I was highlighting and keeping in my notes app on my phone so I could make a TikTok for it, because I was like literally literally he is perfection. I love this book so much. I love the heroine and her journey of trying to find something that she really liked to do with her life and what she wanted out of her life, and I just really appreciated that, especially as someone who is dealing with kind of similar things, thinking about, am I happy with where I'm at in life and what I want out of a career. I'm obsessed with this romance. Like, we got the title in the book and it was just so good. There was a third act breakup that was a little annoying, but they acknowledged that what they were doing was annoying and they were just being messy, because romance is messy, and it was just perfection. I love this book. 5 stars. I'm like honestly thinking it's gonna be a favorite of the year. I am just obsessed. Like, so many small town vibes, which I absolutely loved. Definitely get why it's on that list for the Gilmore Girls recommendations, because the town is just so meddlesome and hilarious, and I loved it, especially when they had that third act breakup. Like, people were getting mad at them and it was adorable. So I flew through this book in 2 days and I could not put it down. I could not stop thinking about it, and I still can't stop thinking about it, so highly recommend reading this one. And then I ended up finishing my Christmas puzzle, and I finished The Tourist Trap, which I'm giving 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this book as well, because we got, again, a lot of like existential crisis with our characters, because both of them were not happy where they were living and wanting to move and start a new life, but scared to let down the people that are currently in their lives. Especially the heroine was dealing with a family that she didn't really have a good relationship with, but she was like always there with them. It's kind of toxic. Like, they make her feel like she has to be there for responsibilities, even though she doesn't want to do that. She feels trapped, and I really loved how they really had just a come to Jesus moment together, basically, where they were like, I am not happy and this is why. And it's really hard to do that with your family, so it was really interesting seeing that play out. And the hero's journey as well, falling in love with their respective towns while they were hating where they came from, and the other person was falling in love with that lifestyle. It was super sweet. I really love that, and it was definitely more so of their life journey than focusing on solely the romance. So I did actually end up enjoying that. Typically I don't love it when it lends more towards the fiction side versus the romance side. He's definitely had very strong romances too, and I really appreciate with the heroine storyline how she was kind of like told by the other heroine, like, stop doing things when I ask you not to do them just because you think I want them. And it was just a very interesting conversation to have, because typically you like want to do something for someone, and she was like, don't buy me things when I tell you I'm gonna do it myself, because that's like something I want to do for myself. And so the heroine had to do a lot of reflection on why she was acting that way, and like stemming from her childhood and her relationship with her parents and acting like her mom does, even though she knows it drives herself crazy. And then the hero's romance was so adorable and definitely super emotional, because he was dealing with a mom who has dementia, and him just feeling drained from that lifestyle and having that responsibility. And it was just so sweet. Like, this read so much like a Hallmark movie about two people going to different towns and just falling head over heels in love, and the romances being kind of messy because they both did have to do a lot of soul searching and coming to terms with how they're acting and what they want in their relationship and in their future, and having to tell the other person that they want to stay and convincing them they want to stay for them, not for the romance. Like, because then the other person would feel guilty, like, oh, you're giving up your life for me, but it's like, no, I'm really truly happy here. So it was great. I really loved it. I loved everything about this book as well. I do think, like I said, the beginning was a little slow and the relationships developed a little too quickly for some of them. So it was really fun having two different storylines and seeing them kind of overlap, especially when the heroine goes back home to deal with her stuff. She meets the hero, and it was a lot of fun seeing their lives intertwine, and I just had a lot of fun reading this book. I'm really happy I did, and definitely a very sweet holiday romance I'd recommend checking out that does get very emotional. But both of these had themes of trying to figure out what makes you happy in life and changing your life for yourself. So putting me in a little bit of an existential crisis mode, but it's fine. I feel like that is 100% Gilmore Girls as well. So I had so much fun doing this reading vlog. Definitely check these books out. First book was a bit of a miss, but these last two, I'm so happy that I read them, and I think that all three of these books definitely belong on this Buzzfeed list. So definitely check out that list. Check out the other recommendations on that list. I definitely want to as well, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog. That's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.